Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 31 of this awesome, amazing Osu Let's Play series. In the last episode, I talked about hard rock and some pointers for getting into the mod. And in this episode, I want to pretty much do the same thing, but for double time. So yes, I'm sure you all are probably very acquainted with this mod, but I do want to talk about some pointers for getting better at it and some neat facts that I think are good to know about the mod. So yes, before we get started, I also want to shout out as usual that I stream every single day over at twitch.tv/DigitalHypno. So if you want to hang out with me live or just watch me play this game, anything like that, would be very, very happy to see you guys there. And bonus points, if you tell me that you came from this Let's Play series, I will be very, very happy to see you guys there. So yes, come stop by, say hello. I stream in the mornings typically in American time. So I'm not sure if that is seems like secret information. They're like, oh, I think some people tell me that they always miss my streams or they don't know when I stream, but it is always in the morning in American time. For now, at least. I don't know, might have some later streams as well, but anyway. So double time. Oh shit, I already have the mod on. Okay, so yes, F1, open the mod menu, press the D button as usual. This is the double time hotkey, and then press it again. It goes to night core, and okay, so I think I mentioned this in episode 2, was it? But if you right click the mod, it'll toggle backwards. So if you just want to go straight to night core, you can just right click it. And then left clicking basically cycles forward and then right click cycles backwards. So yes, let's use double time. So okay, so actually night core was originally an April Fool's update to the game. It was like only for April Fools, and then it stayed in the game. It was like a long time ago. I don't remember what year, but yeah. There's a fun fact about night core. It's originally just a joke mod. But yeah, so double time speeds up speeds up everything about the map by 1.5 times. So not 2x, but 1.5 times. So you'll notice, so without the mod, let's see, this is 140 BPM, for example. Turn on double time, and it is now 1.5 times faster. And this bar becomes red, which means that those settings have been made more difficult. And you can notice, okay, so when I turn on hard rock, this row of the difficulty settings of the map turns red. But when I turn on double time, instead of turning red, there's just these little arrows next to the AR, OD, and HP. So what's really happening when you turn on double time is that everything about the map gets sped up by 1.5 times. So I mentioned in the last episode, but the approach rate, okay, so good approach rate values to know. So AR8 with double time is AR 9.6 repeating, or people just call it 9.6. AR 8.5 DT is AR 10 flat, is just AR 10, and AR 9 DT is 10.3 repeating, or people just call it 10.3. So yes, and AR 10 with double time is AR 11. That's the maximum that it can be. So yeah, compared to the hard rock, where hard rock caps at 10, everything here caps at 10, but double time can actually go beyond that, because technically these can all cap at 10, and then double time will increase them by 1.5 times. So yes, that is how that works. Oh, fix my volume settings. The volume settings were from when I was actually playing the game live on twitch.tv/DigitalHypno. You guys should all hang out there. But okay, so in the last episode, I mentioned that hard rock is probably one of the most brutal mods to get into. I feel like it's very, very tricky to get into because it just kind of jumps all the difficulty settings at once, and it jumps up by quite a lot, to be honest, because pretty much anything over 7, like anything over AR 7 will just become AR 10, and same for OD or HP. But that's not really the case with double time, and double time also doesn't even change the circle size. So but double time is also a lot friendlier in that it doesn't just spike everything up to 10. There's sometimes like a very gradual increase in difficulty compared to turning on hard rock. And there's some maps too that you turn on double time and it basically just still feels like no mod. Usually just kind of faster no mod. And sometimes it just straight up feels like no mod depending on the song, if the song's really slow. But oh, stream, okay. I don't know why I was surprised the whole map has been streamed so far, pretty much. But yeah, so in that sense, with double time sort of being a lot friendlier to get into, I think it's the mod that newer players tend to lean towards, or sort of get into first. Because it's so similar to no mod at times. It's sort of like the gateway mod to to mods as a whole. But also because of that, it's a lot easier to end up just like leaving double time on like always. So let's see other things. I think also, okay, so because of the way double time increases the difficulty settings, the star rating system or like the PP system sometimes sees double time as like a lot harder than it really is, because it's like, oh wow, it must be really fast because double time, even though that's not really always the case. But it also, okay, so because it increases the overall difficulty, so the PP system really likes high overall difficulty, which is like the setting that changes like how easy it is to get a 300, how easy it is to get good accuracy. I think the PP system really likes high OD, so for that reason, I think double time can end up being very overweighted, even if you don't actually get a very good score. If the star rating system thinks like, oh, this map was really hard to get accuracy, and you got like 87%. Not the best, but it was a very tricky map, so we'll give you credit for that. It's basically what happens from time to time. Some maps. And so double time tends to get very overweighted sometimes. And also the approach rate. I think in general, the star rating system likes fast things and aim. I think aim and just like raw mechanics in general. And it sees double time as increasing that by a lot. Especially because there's no real cap to, like, it doesn't cap out at 10 like the rest of the settings do. So there's potential to be really, really high difficulty settings, higher than typical. But anyway, with that, that was more of a typical map, I feel like, that I just showed you guys. So it was AR8 or AR 9.6. So yes, this map, so good. Banger. I wanted to show this in a previous episode actually, but I think I ran out of time in that episode, but the song is so good. So let's see. So I think double time sort of has the most diversity in as far as like unique new like types of experiences that you can have, I guess, with the game. Like it can turn like somewhat simple maps to like into like very tricky ones. And in that sense, I think how do I word this? I think double time is definitely one of those mods that like you can just leave on and like just explore every kind of map in the game. And okay, also it lets you like sort of like relive your old like favorite maps that, you know, when you were a new player, the map was so hard for you, and now you've improved a lot and you can go for like a double time SS and just flex on your old self. But there's a lot of cool challenges that you can give yourself with double time. Oh, also I should note, so a couple other things. So about the mod multiplier, double time score multiplier is 1.12, and Hard Rock 1.06, Hidden also 1.06, but Hidden and Hard Rock, so it's actually multiplicative. So when you turn on both of these mods, it looks like the same multiplier as DT only, but just to demonstrate it, if you turn on double time and Hidden, instead of 1.18, it's actually 1.19, and so likewise, it's just kind of rounding to the like nearest, you know, hundredths place, but Hidden Hard Rock is actually a little higher than 1.12. So you'll find that if you SS a map with Hidden Hard Rock, no spinners, it'll be higher than double time SS. So yes, that is one thing. But leaderboards, for the most part, if you want to get in the top of the leaderboard, then for the most part you just go for Hidden double time SS, and that typically just puts you there. Like, look at this guy, Toy, he's just a beast. I think he has number 1 on this one too. Oh, Trailmix, wait, Trailmix, let's go. You go, he was number 1 for a couple years on this map, but anyway. Okay, so double time also, so because it like really pushes maps to be a lot harder, it's really good for pushing your skill cap, I would say. How do I word this? Like you can always find new harder maps to play with double time, I feel like, and because it's like a lot more gradual than Hard Rock in terms of like the amount that the difficulty increases, I think it's a pretty good mod to, like, if you really just want to keep pushing your skill cap, it's pretty good if you can find the right maps to use. Okay, so oh shoot, I had something in mind. I want to talk about like, okay, so is leaving DT on at all times a good idea? And I think again, this comes down to your goals as a player. I think DT has a lot of diversity because, okay, so Hard Rock jumps everything up to AR10, so if you were to leave Hard Rock on all the time, then you'd probably end up just like only really being used to AR10. But DT still has a lot of diversity when it comes to approach rate and like note density, things like that. Oh yeah, okay, so that's another thing I wanted to mention. Oh, nice rhythm. Forgot that was there. Okay, so there's a chart that I'll link in the description about note density on like certain ARs and certain BPMs. And basically, double time does not change the note density at all. Like the AR increases, but the BPM also increases by sort of the same increment. So, how do I write this? It's just like straight up faster version of the same like sort of map as if you were playing without double time. But yeah, there's like really dense DTs. Okay, honestly, double time is like more of an umbrella. I don't know, it's like a tool, but it really depends on the kinds of maps that you play that sort of determine what kind of player you are still. I think with Hard Rock, it's a little different. Oh, okay. Did not know that was there. This song is really good, by the way. Okay, also, okay, unrelated. I have been meaning to make a spreadsheet or like a map pack basically of all the maps that I've used in these episodes, because I think a couple people have asked and I was like, that is a good idea. I should probably do that. So yes, look forward to that. Hopefully somewhat soon. Also, it will help me make sure I don't like repeat certain maps, because I feel like at some point, like sometimes I straight up don't remember if I've used a certain map in an episode or not. So yeah, it will be very helpful. But okay, this map for example, AR7 double time. So this is one of those very funky type maps, I would say, when you turn on double time. Oh wait, okay, retry. But yeah, I think older maps with double time offer like a completely new sort of experience to the game, I think. Because, man, older maps, they just like show no mercy. And okay, this is a good example. Like, it's really just for fun, to be honest, back then. Lots of linear angles and things like that, and just turning double time on top of that, it's like a true rhythm game challenge as opposed to conventional maps. So it really depends. I think saying I'm a double time player, okay, so when you say like I just play DT, the default understanding is that it's sort of on just conventional maps, but like I think you should probably try to specify like, oh, I play old maps with double time or something like that, or I just play like DT tech. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of diversity, and actually for that reason, okay, so let me show one more map. For that reason, so in tournaments, you might notice that there's actually one extra double time map than any of the other mod pools, and that's sort of because there's a lot more diversity with what DT can offer. But also there's like a free mod map pool where you can go either hidden or hard rock. And okay, so it actually didn't used to be the case that there were more DTs than the rest of the pool. But I think one day in like 2018, so there was this player named Gladiol, a very old, a Dutch player, and he made this post on a subreddit named Osu Tourney, which is like a tournament community. It was pretty small subreddit, but he made a post about how like double time sort of needs more love in tournament map pools, because like there's three. Why did I choose to play this map? Yeah, it's another tricky old map, but yeah, so there's 3 hidden maps and 3 hard rock maps, but there's also 3 free mod maps, which is basically like 1.5 hiddens and 1.5 hard rocks. And then there's only 3 DT maps, so DT is kind of underrepresented basically. And he was like, yeah, there should actually be like at least one more DT map, because there's a lot of diversity that comes out of DT maps. like turning on DT, because there's like weird old maps like these that test a completely different skill from like typical, you know, high BPM, speed, things like that, or like, you know, more conventional, or even just like finger control stuff. There's definitely a difference in like all the different kinds of DT, and he was like, there should be more double time slots so that like weird stuff like this can get tested in tournaments. And I remember I saw that post and I was like, you know what, this guy's onto something. So the tournament that I was hosting at the time, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna add one more double time pool, or one more double time map than the rest of the pool. And I think it worked pretty well. It sort of caught on, and these days it's definitely the norm for there to be one extra double time map. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure what to say regarding like improving with double time. It's just very similar to what I would say, or what I mentioned in episode 26. It's about skill cap pushing. I think it's okay to always leave double time on if that's something that's fun for you. There's still a lot of diversity that exists in the game. You know, lots of old maps that you just kind of turn on DT and it's still sort of that weird gimmicky reading type challenge. I think most of the people watching this probably have a lot more like conventional maps that they're familiar with using double time on. So in this episode, I mostly wanted to show some cooler niche type finger control, weird, yet high quality, fun double time maps. It's very, I did not expect that sentence to be so, I guess, convoluted, but yeah, short little episode. Hopefully you guys learned some cool things about, I guess, how double time works. But yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, definitely check out my channel, watch the future episodes, watch the previous ones too, if you have not already. And yes, I upload these every single day, and also live stream every single day. I know you guys are probably sick of me saying that, but definitely, okay, stop by, okay? I'm not saying it for nothing, so I'll be very, very happy to hang out with all of you guys. But yeah, with that, I'll see you guys next time.